So with everything that's going on in One Piece at the moment, Yamato has been the main focus of most discussions on Twitter and actually on YouTube too. But what I wanted to do is talk about Momonosuke in this video. As One Piece 1025 fast approaches, I can imagine we'll be reintroduced to Momonosuke once again as he begins his journey to getting Luffy to the top of Onigashima. Now one thing I can say for sure is that after seeing Momonosuke in chapter 1023, or should I say after seeing Momonosuke in his dragon form in chapter 1023, he certainly looks a lot like Kaido. But the question is, can he do everything that Kaido can do too? Who knows? So what I want to do in this video is just talk a little bit about Momonosuke and try and work out if he's truly legit. But before I get into things, I do have the usual formalities. So if it is your first time here, or if you're returning to the channel and you haven't yet, then please make sure you subscribe to the channel as I try to make my way to that semi-respectable 5k subscribers mark. And if you're watching this video and find out that you like anything I've had to say, then make sure you leave a thumbs up as it really helps me out with that YouTube algorithm. And lastly, make sure you check out the Void Century Club forum, in which I'll leave a link to in the description to this video. But now those formalities are out of the way, let's get into it. So as of One Piece 1023, we found out that Shinobu did the thing that most of us expected. And when I say expected, pretty much when her powers were first introduced to us, all of us figured that she would age Momonosuke somehow, and she's done just that, as she's aged Momonosuke to the age of 28 as per his request. And to be honest, it isn't shocking, because it did feel like Oda purposefully gave Shinobu this power just so that she could power up Momonosuke when the time was right. Just like this. And talking about power-ups, I really do wonder whether this is truly a power-up for Momonosuke. Because just a reminder for all of those who've forgotten, this devil fruit that Momonosuke ate was effectively deemed a failure by Vegapunk to the world government. But that is something we know that is not true, because just look at Momo now. And in order to support what I'm talking about, I think it's best to start off by discussing Lineage factor, which if I remember correctly was first explained to us by Law when he was describing Caesar's research, which was an application of Vegapunk's research, and if you want to read that whole chapter, I believe it's chapter 698. But ultimately, what we learn is that all life forms have a lineage factor, and by manipulating it from a young age, the growth of a life form can be changed, and this is technically what a devil fruit does. So when one eats a devil fruit, it affects their lineage factor, which allows them to gain these crazy powers. But the one who we believe has perfected this is Vegapunk, because he's the one that extracted Kaido's lineage factor and has been able to replicate his fruit as shown by Momonosuke. But something that has been on my mind for a while now is why Vegapunk deemed this experiment a failure to the world government, particularly when we can see that it's been a success. Is it most likely the agreed upon theory amongst most of us YouTubers, and that Vegapunk seriously just didn't want this power getting in the world government's hands? Or could it be that this fruit is actually a failure, and that is about to be exhibited by Momonosuke? Now I know it might feel like me rambling, but hear me out. I originally just called this video what to expect from Momonosuke in Wano, but I think it goes a bit further than that, because it's mainly to do with the abilities of his fruit. Now I'm unsure as to when this video will come out, so I hope nothing's revealed in chapter 1025. But regardless, we've already seen that Momonosuke can transform. We know he can fly, but we would have to see if there actually is any limitations to this, which of course I do doubt. But the next real challenge for both Momonosuke and Vegapunk is that once Momonosuke gets Luffy to the top of Onigashima, and this is just me assuming that he does, we must remember that Onigashima is fast approaching the flower capital, and it is being carried by the use of Kaido's flame clouds. I mean, if that's what we're calling it. Apologies once again for not identifying what they're actually called, but anyone who watches my videos knows that I do this quite a lot. But I imagine Kaido would be looking to drop Onigashima in the flower capital, and that there will be many deaths as a result of this. So wouldn't the natural thing to happen be that Momonosuke can replicate this ability in order to save the people of Wano by keeping Onigashima floating in the sky using said flame cloud ability? Now my reason for thinking this is that Momonosuke has to contribute to the battle somehow, and I don't imagine that just taking Luffy up to the top of Onigashima is enough input in this battle. I mean, he is meant to be the Shogun of Wano, the protector of the people, so what better way to protect the people than by saving them from Kaido's intentions? And in turn, this would show that Vegapunk's fruit is not a failure. But on the contrary, what if Momo tries to keep Onigashima floating and finds out that he doesn't have this ability? Do we then deem Vegapunk's fruit a failure? Could that be the reason why he left the fruit? That he knew he could do better by perfecting this fruit further? I don't necessarily think this, but it's some food for thought. And lastly, I know Momonosuke isn't battle tested and hasn't got the experiences that many fighters have, particularly in the New World, but he should inherit the abilities that a devil fruit provides, one that makes the Shogun of Wano truly strong. And by that, I mean all the attacks that Kaido can use with his devil fruit too. So could we see Momonosuke use a blast breath attack? You know, we've seen Kaido use that so many times. And I mean, that would be so impressive. Because for those of you who don't remember, when Luffy saw Kaido use that attack on his crew, it drove him berserk. Just thinking that Kaido killed them, and Luffy went on a rampage yelling Kaido as Law tried to calm him down. And if Momonosuke could do that attack, then I don't imagine it would be shocking if he could use that really cool wind scythe attack that absolutely annihilated Okiku's arm. That would be an insane power up. But I guess what I'm trying to get at here is that all the attacks that Kaido can use that he's gained from his devil fruit, Momonosuke should be able to do too. And if for any reason outside of Momo just being useless, that he can't use any of these attacks, then could that be the reason why Vegapunk called this devil fruit a failure? That would be actually really interesting to know. But I guess time will tell, because that actually links into my Mads theory that I created a while back ago, where I actually do think that this fruit is complete and Vegapunk has the potential to even incorporate this into the SSG. But that's probably a discussion for another day. But I guess that just about does it from me. I apologise if it feels like this video was all over the place. I just wanted to discuss Momo at first, but I think it's key that he truly makes an impact in Wano, and we can see exactly what he can do with his devil fruit. I know many predict that there is a potential that he could join the Straw Hats, with him being the cabin boy, but now he's older than most of the Straw Hats, particularly the East Blue 5. Is it even plausible to think that he could be a cabin boy? I mean, it's starting to feel a bit ridiculous now. But I guess if he did join as a strong individual who could actually support the crew in a useful way, would it be far more logical? And also let us know what to expect from Vegapunk, or at least tease that he's basically perfected this lineage factor. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What do you expect from Momo in One Piece chapter 1025 onwards? And do you think he'll be useful or disappointing again? And also, do you think he has all the devil fruit capabilities that Kaido has too? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, if you like anything I've had to say, please make sure you leave a like on the video, as it tells me I'm doing something right and producing content that you like. And if you would like to see more content like this, then make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss out when I drop more gems just like this. Safe.